Okay, so I'll explain this again. Now, so we'll start with quadratic equations. Ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, where we're talking about quadratic equations only with real coefficients. Okay, so usually coefficients can be complex numbers also. Complex numbers mean imaginary numbers as well as real numbers. Those are complex numbers. Okay, now but here we talk about only real coefficients. Okay, quadratic equations with real coefficients. So quadratic formula, how to find the roots of the equation x is equal to minus b plus or minus under root b square minus 4ac by 2a. So what are roots? Quadratic formula to find the roots of the equation. Okay. So what does finding roots mean? What does finding roots mean? That is my question. Okay? So finding the roots of this equation, okay, means that finding the values of x, which satisfy this equation. Yes, finding the values of x which satisfies the equation. That's it. Okay. So usually if I say 2x plus 3 is equal to 0, solve for x, 2x plus 3 is equal to 0. So what do you get? X is equal to minus 3 by 2. Okay. So x is equal to minus 3 by 2. What is this value? This is the value of x which satisfies this equation. So values of x which satisfies this quadratic equation are known as the roots of the equation. So this is one of the methods to find the roots of the equation using quadratic formula. Now coming to whenever there is a square root, the condition is value inside the square root should be always non-negative. Yes, otherwise it will be an imaginary number. So that's also mentioned here. Again, nature of roots, because already we have taken ABC as real numbers. So now this is real, b square is real, 4ac is also real. B square minus 4ac is also real. But square root of b square minus 4ac might not be real, because b square minus 4ac can be negative, which means square root of negative number is an imaginary number. Alright. Now, nature of roots depend on the value inside the square root. So b square minus 4ac, let's call it as delta, which is known as discriminant. So if the delta is greater than 0, then we will have two distinct real roots. How? Because there is plus or minus here. So once you take plus, you will get a root. If you take minus, you're going to get another root. So that is the reason for two distinct real roots. If delta is equal to 0, so this part is gone, the square root part is gone. So only left out is minus b by 2a. The term which is left out is minus b by 2a, which means only one value of x. So it doesn't mean there is only one root. Technically there is only one root, but we call it as two real and equal roots. Now delta less than 0, which means square root of negative number we are going to get, which means it is an imaginary number. So once you take plus, again minus, so there will be two imaginary roots. Okay. So the other concept which I have said here is, which I taught here is, if the equation has two irrational roots, then they will be conjugate to each other. Now, example, what is meant by conjugate? If 2 plus root 3 is one of the roots, then 2 minus root 3 is also a root. Okay. So there is no possibility for a quadratic equation to have one irrational root and a rational root. Okay. So what's the point you can say from this? A quadratic equation cannot have a rational and an irrational root. Okay. So either the equation will have both rational roots or both irrational. Like I said, if 2 plus root 3 is one of the root, then 2 minus root 3 will be the other root. There is no other possibility. Okay. One irrational and one rational. Okay. There is no possibility such as one rational and one irrational root. Coming to imaginary roots also. if there are two imaginary roots, obviously, then they will be conjugate to each other again. Okay. Now coming to this relation between roots and coefficients, if alpha and beta are the roots of this quadratic equation, then relation between roots and coefficients, alpha plus beta, sum of the roots is equal to minus b by a, alpha into beta, product of the roots is equal to c by a. So now I have given two examples here, x square plus 3x plus 5 is equal to 0, which means alpha plus beta is equal to minus 3 by 1, alpha into beta is equal to 5 by 1, minus b by a, c by a. Okay. 2x square minus 3x minus 5 is equal to 0. Alpha plus beta is equal to minus of minus 3. Don't forget to write another minus sign. Okay. So this minus is in the formula. This minus is in the formula and this minus is in the coefficient. Okay. So don't club those two. Those two are alag negative signs. Okay. Different negative signs. Minus of minus 3 by 2 plus 3 by 2. Sorry. Minus of minus 3 by 2 plus 3 by 2. And alpha into beta is equal to minus 5 by 2. Okay. Now this is the statement continuation to this one. Now find the quadratic equation whose roots are alpha and beta. Find the quadratic equation whose roots are alpha and beta. So here, this is the reverse questioning. This is the reverse questioning. Here, you are given the quadratic equation and you are asked to find the roots of the quadratic equation. Whereas here, you are already given the roots. You don't know the equation. You are given the roots and you are asked to find the equation whose roots are alpha and beta. Whose roots are these two. Okay. Equation will be this one, x square minus of alpha plus beta of x plus alpha into beta is equal to 0. Okay. Now, examples for this. Find equation whose roots are. Find quadratic equation whose roots are minus 1 and half. Minus 1 and half. So how are you going to get? Suppose this is alpha and this is beta. Now the equation will be x square minus of alpha plus beta minus 1 plus half of x. X square minus of alpha plus beta of x plus alpha into beta is equal to 0. X square minus of alpha plus beta of x plus alpha into beta is equal to 0. So x square minus of minus 1 plus half is minus half into x plus minus half is equal to 0. So x square plus 1 by 2x minus 1 by 2 is equal to 0. Alright. Now take LCM. 2x square plus x minus 1 by 2 is equal to 0. So take to RHS, take 2 to RHS. Okay. Any doubt in this? I guess no. Now, equation whose roots are root 3 minus root 3. The equation whose roots are root 3 and minus root 3. Okay. Now, yes. సాల్వ్ చేస్తున్నారా? Roots are root 5 and 2. Square root 5 and 2. Forget this statement, it's not true. Okay. So that was about imaginary roots. I'll change the statement. So a quadratic equation cannot have a real and an imaginary root. Okay. Once we discuss the complex numbers chapter, okay, when we discuss the complex numbers chapter, then a quadratic equation can have an imaginary root and a real root also. But here we are discussing about quadratic equations with real coefficients. Quadratic equations with real coefficients. So a quadratic equation with real coefficients cannot have a real root and an imaginary root. Either both should be real or both should be imaginary. Okay. So I confused with the statement earlier. I told you about rational and irrational. That's not rational and irrational. The statement is about real and imaginary. Okay, real and imaginary. For these two, alpha, beta, x square minus of root 3 minus root 3 of x plus root 3 into minus root 3 is equal to 0. So x square minus 0x, so that is 0, minus root 3 into root 3 plus 3 is equal to 0. X square minus 3 is equal to 0. Okay. Now roots are root 5 and 2. X square minus of 2 plus root 5 of x plus 2 into root 5 is equal to 0. Okay. Any doubt till here? So these are the basic ones. Delta is greater than 0. So equation will have two real and distinct roots. Delta is equal to 0, two real and equal roots. Delta is less than 0, then two imaginary roots. Okay. So my next question to you is, if one of the roots is 5 minus root 6, if one of the roots is 5 minus root 6, then find the equation. Then find the quadratic equation. If one of the roots is 5 minus root 6, then find the quadratic equation. Then find the quadratic equation. If one of the roots is 5 minus root 6, then find the quadratic equation. So in the previous three questions, I gave you two roots. But now I'm giving you only one root. Still I asked you to find the equation of the equation. Well, Anyone not solved it? Has anyone solved yet? Has anyone solved it? Okay then. If one of the roots is 5 minus root 6, observe this. If the equation has an irrational root of the form p plus root q, then the other will be of the form p minus root q. Understood that? If one of the roots is 5 minus root 6, one of the roots is 5 minus root 6. Other root will be other root will be 5 plus root 6. Understood? Other root will be 5 minus root 6. Now alpha plus beta is equal to 5 minus root 6 plus 5 plus root 6, which is equal to 10. Alpha into beta is equal to 5 plus root 6 into 5 minus root 6 is equal to 5 square a plus b into a minus b, a square minus b square. So 25 minus 6, which is equal to 19. Okay. So now equation will be x square minus 10x plus 19 is equal to 0. X square minus 10x plus 19 is equal to 0. Okay. Find the quadratic equation, add a statement here with rational coefficients. With rational coefficients. With rational coefficients. Okay. So if the coefficients are irrational again, you cannot say if one of the roots is 5 minus root 6, then you cannot say the other one is 5 plus root 6. Okay. So only when the coefficients are rational, then only it is applicable. Okay. Any doubts still here? Correct. Okay, Brahma. Any doubts still? Now, graph of quadratic expression. Graph of quadratic expression. Y is equal to, see, there is another method to solve the to solve a quadratic equation, which is a factorization method. Okay. So after After learning this, we'll see the factorization method and different questions on that. Okay. Now y is equal to ax square plus bx plus c. See, I told you expression. It's not an equation. Okay. So graph of an expression. So solution of an equation. Okay. So graph of an equation is a wrong statement. So graph of a quadratic expression, y is equal to ax square plus bx plus c. So basically it's a parabola. So we'll take x-axis here. We'll take x-axis. We don't need about y-axis. We don't need y-axis. Now, here, when a is greater than 0, here, when a is less than 0, alpha, beta, alpha, beta. So why are these alpha and beta? Why are these alpha and beta? Because if alpha and beta are the roots of the equation, what does it mean? When you put alpha in place of x, it will give you the value 0. When you put beta in place of x, again it will give the value of 0. Will give you the value 0. So what is 0? Y is 0, right? If you put x alpha, you're going to get y 0. If you put x beta, then also you're going to get y 0. So where is y coordinate 0? On x-axis, right? Y coordinate 0 is on x-axis. So that is why these 2 points are alpha and beta. Now, alpha and beta, there are 2 roots, which means this is when delta is greater than 0. Now I'll talk about delta equal to 0. If delta is equal to 0, what did I tell you? The equation will have real roots, alpha, real and equal roots. So equal roots. So that is the reason why the parabola is touching the x-axis but not cutting it. If it cuts, then you will have 2 values, 2 real roots. Okay. If it does not cut, if it just touches the x-axis, then we will have equal roots. Okay. This is when a is less than 0 and this is when a is greater than 0. Now again, delta less than 0. Delta less than 0. Now see this. X-axis. Delta less than 0 means no roots, no real roots. No roots means the graph cannot cut x-axis. It will be above x-axis. The whole graph will be above x-axis. Coming to a less than 0, the whole graph is below x-axis. The reason is very simple. It does not have any roots. If it does not have any real roots, it cannot cut x-axis. So if it cuts x-axis at 2 points, if the parabola cuts x-axis at 2 points, it means it has 2 real and distinct roots. If it touches the x-axis, the parabola touches the x-axis, then only equal roots, 2 equal roots, real and equal roots. If it does not cut x-axis, then no real roots. Observe this. What is the value? What is the graph? What is the graph we have plotted for? Ax square plus bx plus c, right? Now ax square plus bx plus c, or you can say y value. See, above x-axis, values of y are always positive. Below x-axis, those are negative. Like this. Between alpha and beta, between these two x values, quadratic expression value is negative. Here between these two x values, quadratic expression value is positive. But whereas coming to these two graphs, value of y is always positive. Here value of y is always negative. So from these two, I'll note down a simple observation from here, from these two graphs. Now, ax square, now see, if delta is less than 0, then ax square plus bx plus c, ax square plus bx plus c is always greater than 0. How can you write that in the equation form, in mathematical form? Greater than 0 for all x belongs to R. For all, see, for all x belongs to R, y is always positive. Here for all x belongs to R, y is always negative. So if delta is negative, then ax square plus bx plus c is greater than 0 for all x belongs to R when a is positive. Okay, and ax square plus bx plus c is negative for all x belongs to R, for all x belongs to R when a is negative. See, when a is negative, its value is always, the entire graph is below x-axis, which means value of y is always negative. Here when a is positive, entire graph is above x-axis, which means y value is always positive. That's what I have written here, but in mathematical form, that's it, not in a statement form. So if delta is negative, if delta is negative, then ax value of the quadratic expression is always positive when a is greater than 0. But when a is less than 0, its value is always negative. Always negative. Observe that, always negative. So that only I expressed in mathematical form, less than 0 for all x belongs to R. Okay. These two are very, very, very important statements. Observe. What is the sign of minus 2x square plus x minus 4 is equal to minus 4? That's it. What is the sign of minus 2x square plus x minus 4? That is the question. What is the sign of it means? Is it positive or negative? That is my question. Okay. What is the sign of minus 2x square plus x minus 4? What is the sign of minus 2x square plus x minus 4? So, first observe what is delta. Delta is equal to minus b square minus 4 into a into c. B square 1 square minus 4 into a into c. Yes, is equal to, sir, we can take off minus sign. No, you cannot take off minus sign. If you take minus sign common, where will you send it? There is no RHS, right? I've given you only expression, not given you equation. Okay. If there is 0 on the RHS on the other side, then you can take minus common and send it to that side. It works like that. But in this case, I've given you only expression. There is no RHS part, so you cannot send the minus sign to that side. Okay? So b square minus 4ac, 1, 8 minus 32, delta is negative. What is the value of a? Minus 2, which is also negative. See, delta is negative. Delta is negative. A is also negative. Delta negative, A negative, which means value of the expression is always less than 0. Then minus 2x square plus x minus 4 is less than 0 for all x belongs to R. For all x belongs to R. Any doubt in that? Okay. So relate these two. You'll understand it easily. Okay. So expression, value of the expression is always negative because the graph is entirely below x-axis. The graph is entirely above x-axis, which means value of the expression is always positive. Value of expression is nothing but value of y coordinate. X values are x coordinate. When you plot the graph, x values become x coordinates, y value becomes y coordinates. So above x axis means positive y axis, below x axis negative y axis. That's it. Now, solving using factorization. Solving using factorization. Sir. Hello? ఇంకొక 10 minutes సార్. వస్తా సార్. Okay, so solving using factorization. Okay, now simple examples. X square minus 3x plus 2 is equal to 0. X square minus 3x plus 2 is equal to 0. How to solve that equation? How to solve that equation? Now, what is the rule of factorization? Take a and c, take a and c, multiply those two, take a and c, multiply those two, and 2, multiply those two. So now you have to express this product, or you can say now you have to express this value into product of two numbers. Now I have to express this number as product of two numbers such that sum of those two numbers should be equal to the middle term. Yes, you have to express a into c. You'll get a number. You'll get a number. You have to express a into c, the number, as product of two terms, as product of two terms, such that the sum of those two terms should be equal to the middle term. What is the middle coefficient? B. That should be equal to the B. Now, minus 1 into minus 2. That's it. X square minus x minus 2x plus 2 is equal to 0. X of x minus 1 minus 2 of x minus 1 is equal to 0. So x minus 1 into x minus 2 is equal to 0. Factorization, taking common. So x is equal to 1 or x is equal to 2. X is equal to 1 or x is equal to 2. Now the same thing, I'll change it a bit. Now my question is x power 4 minus 3x square plus 2 is equal to 0. Okay, it's a bit different one, not entirely different. Just observe this. Question is solve or find the values of x for which x power 4 minus 3x square plus 2 is equal to 0. Now what I'll do this is, see, this is a quadratic equation in x. This is a quadratic equation in x, but this is not. This is not a quadratic equation in x. This is a quadratic equation in x square. This is a quadratic equation in x square. Now how I'll write this is x square whole square minus 3x square plus 2 is equal to 0. Plus 2 is equal to 0. Now let x square is equal to t. Let x square is equal to t. Now what you'll get? T square minus 3t plus 2 is equal to 0. Now it's same as this equation, right? It's similar to this one. So where t minus 1, I'm not factorizing this again, I'm writing the direct step here. T minus 1 into t minus 2 is equal to 0. which means t is equal to 1 or t is equal to 2. Now what is t? What have taken t for? X square, right? X square is equal to 1 or x square is equal to 2. Now x square is equal to 1, x is equal to plus or minus 1, x is equal to plus or minus root 2, x is equal to plus or minus root 2. Now this equation, unlike this one, has 4 solutions, not 2. This equation has 2 solutions because it is a quadratic. It is not a quadratic. What is the degree of this equation? 4. Degree of this equation is 4, which means it will have 4 roots. Degree of this equation is 2, so it will have only 2 roots. Okay. So unlike this one, it has 4 roots. But the coefficients are taken are same. Just to make you understand it. So this is also a quadratic, but not in x. It is a quadratic in x square. All right. It is a quadratic in x square. Now next one. Okay. So I'll explain 2 to 3 other problems and then I'll give you some homework. Tomorrow is holiday, right? I'll give you some homework. Now, x square minus 5xy plus 6y square is equal to 0. Find the value of x by y. Find, it's not solve. Find the value of x by y, not x and y. Okay, you cannot get both. Find x by y. See, observe. This is also a quadratic equation, but not in x, not in y. It's a quadratic equation in x by y. How? Or without converting this into a quadratic equation in x by y also, you can solve this. 1 into 6, 6 to get the middle term 5. What is it? 2 into 3 is 6, 2 plus 3 is 5. So x square minus 3xy minus 2xy plus 6y square is equal to 0. So x of x minus 3y minus 2y, can I take minus 2y common? Minus 2y of, if I take minus 2y, what will be left here? X. There is plus here, but I've taken minus common, which means I'll get another minus. Because to get plus, I need minus into minus, right? I've taken minus common, so you'll get again minus here. 2y is already gone. 1y is already gone. 1y will be left. X minus 3y into x minus 2y is equal to 0. So x is equal to 3y or x is equal to 2y, which means x by y is equal to 3 or x by y is equal to 2. That is how you find the value of x. See, it is similar to solving a quadratic, right? It is a quadratic, but I've included another variable. That is the only difference I have made. Okay. Next. E power 2x, e power 2x, 2e power 2x minus e power x minus 1 is equal to 0. 2 into e power 2x minus e power x minus 1 is equal to 0. So how to solve this? See, 2 into, can I write it as e power x whole square? A power m into n, a power m whole power n, exponential property, minus e power x minus 1 is equal to 0. Now, let e power x is equal to t. E power x is equal to t. So 2 into t square minus t minus 1 is equal to 0. So factorization 2 into minus 1, 2 into minus 1. What is 2 minus 1? 1. But what do I need? I need minus 1. So can I write it as minus 2 into 1? Yes, minus 2 into 1. Now what is minus 2 plus 1? Minus 1. So I'm going to use these two numbers for the factorization. 2t square minus 2t plus t minus 1 is equal to 0. So 2t of t minus 1 plus 1 of t minus 1 is equal to 0. So t minus 1 is common. 2t plus 1 is equal to 0. Now the next step would be t is equal to 1 or t is equal to minus half. 2t plus 1 is equal to 0. It means t is equal to minus half. So what is t now? It is e power x. So e power x is equal to 1 or e power x is equal to minus half. E power x is equal to minus half. So e power x can never be negative. E power x can never be negative. So e power x is equal to 1. We'll discuss more about that later. Exponential function and logarithmic function. So until then, okay, solve these questions. X square minus 5x minus 14 is equal to 0. X square plus 15x is equal to minus 50. X power 4 is equal to 11x square minus 28. Nineteen x is equal to 7 minus 6x square. X square minus 16x plus 61 is equal to 2x minus 20. Two x minus 20. 12x square is equal to 25x. 4x square is equal to 9. Eighth one, 4x by x plus 1 is equal to, sorry, plus 5 by x is equal to 6x plus 5 by 6x plus 5 by x square plus x. X minus 2 whole square minus 36 is equal to 0. Three x square plus 2xy minus y square is equal to 0. This question, find x by y. Okay. See this? Okay. So these kind of equations also we can solve using factorization. Okay. But usually what we do is we see the larger terms, we see the bigger terms, and we leave the question. Okay. Observe this. Factorization is very important. The reason is x square minus 4ax plus 4a square minus 9 is 0. Find the value of x. And of course, you will get the values of x in terms of a only. You will not get any numbers. You will get in terms of a only. But still, how to solve this question? There is a method, factorization, right? Factorization method. 1 into 4a square minus 9. First, split that. 1 into 4a square minus 9. Yes? What is this? 2a whole square minus 3 square. You have to observe this. These are the perfect square numbers. This is of the form a square minus b square. We can split it as a minus b into a plus b. 2a minus 3 into 2a plus b. 2a plus 3. A minus b into a plus b, which means 2a minus 3 into 2a plus 3. Now add these two. Add these two. Add these two. Minus 3 plus 3 cancel. 2a plus 2a, 4a. See, did we get the middle term? Yes, we got the middle term, right? So now, how to express the middle term? Middle term will obviously be sum of these two terms, right? There is no other possibility. So x square, okay, minus 4a, I can write as 2a minus 3 plus 2a plus 3. 2a minus 3x plus 2a plus 3x, okay, plus 4a square minus 9 is equal to 0. Yes, all right. Now split it. X square minus of 2a minus 3x minus of 2a plus 3 of x. Okay. Now 4a square minus 9, I can write it as 2a minus 3 into 2a plus 3. Yes. Now take x square take x common, you will get x minus of 2a minus 3, x minus of 2a minus 3 plus, now take 2a minus 3 common, or you can say minus 2a plus 3 common. Take minus of 2a plus 3 common, you will get x here, you will be left out with x, and as I have taken minus common and there is plus here, I will get a minus sign. With 2a plus 3 already I have taken common, so which will be left out? 2a minus 3 is equal to 0. Okay, which takes us to x minus of 2a minus 3 into x minus of 2a plus 3 is equal to 0, which means x is equal to 2a minus 3 or x is equal to 2a plus 3. X is equal to 2a minus 3 or x is equal to 2a plus 3. So that is how you solve the question. Next, I'll give you another one. X square minus 3 root 3x plus 6 is equal to 0. Okay. So until now there are no square roots in the coefficients. But this time I have given you a different one. X square minus 3 root 3x plus 6 is equal to 0. So whenever you come across square roots, just don't think that it cannot be factorized and go for quadratic formula method. which is minus b plus or minus. That would be a bit lengthy. Now observe this factorization. 1 into 6. 1 into 6. 6. Yes. So in the middle term, I need root 3. In the middle term, I need root 3, which means I need to get 3. How to get root 3? 3 is equal to root 3 into root 3, right? 3 is equal to root 3 into root 3. So 6 is 2 into 3. First bring 3 and then we'll bring root 3. 2 into, how can I write 3? Root 3 into root 3. Yes, root 3 into root 3 is 3, right? Now split it. 2 into root 3 as one term, root 3 as an entirely different term. Now add these two. 2 root 3 plus root 3. What is 2 root 3 plus root 3? 3 root 3. That's what we need. So x square minus 2 root 3x minus root 3x minus 2 root 3 minus root 3 is minus 3 root 3 plus 6 is equal to 0. Now that I can take x common, I will get x minus 2 root 3. Okay. So now taking common from the first two terms is easy. It's a very simple direct common. Now it might be confusing for some people to take common from here. What is present in the bracket? The first bracket, x minus 2 root 3, right? So in the second bracket also, I should get x minus 2 root. And this is applicable for every question, every equation. So x minus 2 root 3. Now, to get x minus 2 root 3, I have to take root 3 common. That's it. I need to get x, right? In the first term, I need to get x, which means I need to separate root 3. So I have to take root 3 common. Okay. Now, take x minus 2 root 3 common. X minus 2 root 3 into x minus root 3 is equal to 0. X is equal to 2 root 3 or x is equal to root 3. So that is how you solve when square roots are involved. Okay. Any doubts in this? We'll stop the class here. Stop the lecture here. Okay.